Okay, so here we are. This is my living room, and we're going to again review The Theory of Proxemics by Edward T. Hall. And so what we're looking at is a corner of my living room, and you're going to see a three-seater sofa. In my living room, this particular product or this piece of furniture actually works really well. What happens is that I can sit on one side, and my daughter or my son can sit in that center seat, or if we have friends over, it's totally appropriate for them to sit in that center seat. And it's okay for these people to invade my personal bubble because I know them, and particularly with my family, I have intimate relationships with my family. So that center seat gets used quite often. But I want you to think about if you were to use that same three-seater sofa in a doctor's office. In that context or in that setting, it's not going to be appropriate. And the problem is that that center seat will never get used. In fact, most people would rather stand than sit in that center seat. And the reason for that is because you're going to be invading somebody's personal bubble. And in a doctor's office, it's not appropriate to invade somebody's personal, intimate bubble. So this particular product or this piece of furniture, a three-seater sofa, is not going to be appropriate in a healthcare context. And that's what's so powerful, again, about the theory of proxemics or theory in general, is that remember that theory is based on research and it allows us to make predictions on how people will behave. Okay, the other theory that we talked about was the theory of place attachment. And so we're kind of scanning around my living room, and what you're going to notice is in this corner of the living room, you're going to see, first of all, I have a lot of photos of my children at all different ages. You're also going to see these are two plates that I acquired when we used to live in Texas. So they bring back fond memories to me. They remind me of the time that we spent in West Texas. If we keep scrolling around, you're going to see on my fireplace mantle, that's actually a duck that my father-in-law carved. He has now passed away, so when I see that, it reminds me of him. The two vases are vases that were given to me by my grandmother. And if we continue around, you're going to see in this corner more pottery. Those two pieces are from Mexico. They definitely remind me of the trips we've taken to Mexico. You're also going to see, again, more photos. These are photos showing, again, a lot of trips that we've taken. They're photos of Glacier National Park, of Yellowstone. We're going to continue around. Actually, I'll show you. This is my dog lying by the back exit. If we continue around, you're going to see, again, just a lot of accessories, a lot of family photos, and then we kind of zoom on into the kitchen. Okay. This is my point. This is what I'm trying to show you, is that remember what the theory of place attachment tells us is that there's a lot of factors that come into play that trigger whether or not an individual will form a bond to a particular place. A lot of the personal mementos that you see in my living room have meaning to me. They bring back memories of whether or not these memories are family memories. They can be memories of particular trips that we've taken, but they're all very important to me and they have meaning. Actually here what you're going to see, this is a piece of artwork that my grandfather drew. It's a pastel, and so again it kind of reminds me of my grandfather who has passed away. The other thing, though, that place attachment theory tells us is that not only is it the place, but it's also the social interactions that occur. So here is where my family gathers. We use this living room all the time. It's open to the kitchen, so we have a lot of social interactions in here. This is where, when I have friends over, we tend to gather in the kitchen and we gather in the family room. So there's a lot of positive social interaction that's occurring in this place, and that also allows me to bond to this setting. And also remember too that it's just individual preferences. So when we're trying to determine whether or not somebody's going to bond to a particular setting, we have to take into consideration what are the social interactions that are occurring, who is the person, what is their personality, their gender, their culture, and last, what is happening in the place in terms of design. I think it's really important to take into consideration that all of those factors are important, and if we want somebody to form an attachment to a particular place, we have to take all three of those into consideration. It's not just about the design.